The studio is Blankhans. We are founded in 2021 as a fully remote studio with our headquarters being in Munich, Germany, and we have our employees around the globe. We develop a game called Coreborn. It's a free-to-play survivor game with a lot of MMO elements, and we are bound to go in full release later this year. And for Coreborn itself, it's really players playing together in a persistent world and enjoying their time together. We know that technology, especially backend technology for a game such as Coreborn, is essential. As we had built a competitor to AccelByte before and successfully sold it, we were aware of the market, and so we were aware of AccelByte themselves and the quality of the service. So because it was always our biggest and most relevant competitor, and so it was an easy choice for us, saying like, we want to work with AccelByte because it was simply the given nature. We know like that's cool technology, that's the technology we need, and there's a reliable team. The team is very helpful and responsive, even to maybe not so easy to solve tasks. It's always nice that the team is very responsive and very helpful, and even in life scenarios when we're facing things, that's always nice to have a partner at the side that is that responsive, because it offloads a lot of worries then also for people like me as a founder. We use various solutions of AccelByte in our game. For hosting, so really scaling up the games, we use the Armada service with a solution that AccelByte was building for us. It's the persistent solution that we can run persistent servers. And whenever there's no player connecting to the server, it's then basically turns off the machine, and as soon as the player logs in again, it ramps it up. That helps us to save a lot of costs, because as you can imagine, with hundreds and thousands of players at the same time, a lot of servers are required, because each of these servers can only hold something between 20 to 40 players. So you would need a mass amount of servers. Having these running basically 24/7 would produce a mass amount of cost, even if no one is playing. And with AccelByte, we were actually be able to address this. The other solution we are using is the matchmaking. For us, it was important to not run into the problem a lot of survivor games have, that you run out of players at some time. You start your Minecraft server with a couple of friends, and then you basically are the last man standing because nobody else is playing anymore. Thanks to the matchmaking of AccelByte, we are able to constantly bring in new players to the world, because we know how the population is of the servers, and then triggering that they get refilled with new players if a new player joins. That generates also new experience for existing players and help them to play the game for a much longer time, help them with our retention, and that's really helping it all. And obviously the third solution is we do have some instances in our game, dungeons and so on. So on-demand instances that are requested when a group of players wants to play them. And here AccelByte helps us as well with matchmaking, with then ramping up the instances and tear it down as soon as the match is over. If we would have built such a solution in-house, with a lot of these things might be available in some form of capacity, open source. Building it would have been maybe taken about a year for a few engineers. But it's not only building it, it's maintaining it. So it's a constant thing that you constantly have to maintain and keep it up and running, keep it updated, adding new features to it. So it's an overhead that you constantly have to carry around with you. For us, it was important that we can always focus on our game and what we want to build as content for our game, and not so much care with everything around it. And that's why a solution like AccelByte is a go-to thing for us, and a mandatory thing, because it takes away for us as a studio that is good in building games the need to also be good in backend operations. Something that we knew, but anyway ran into it, was like, you have to start early with your backend solutions, and you have to think them through, and we are constantly learning new things. And the whole company is set up that we are constantly learning things. So I could now speak hours on learnings we made. In regards to backend technologies, really start early with it. It's start with, even in your prototype, maybe think about what are the backend solutions you need, how will it look like, what are the things that you want to integrate, because your game design can help with that, or your game design can become a limiting factor, and you suddenly learn like, okay, that's not possible. And if you would have known about this, what are limitations of certain things, you can build around it, you can design around it. If you do this in a very late point of your development state, and then looking into, oh, how do we actually run it? Then it might be too late and cost mass amount of money.